Hi friends, welcome to WafaStudies YouTube channel. This is part 2 in PowerShell. In this video, we are going to discuss about mainly what and all various applications or hosts available for you to interact with PowerShell. In our previous video, we discussed that, right? How to check PowerShell is there not in your system. As I said, when you have Windows OS, right, in all the latest versions, by default PowerShell will be there. If you wanted to confirm that, then go to the Windows button by hitting that Windows key or Start key and see whether the PowerShell related consoles are appearing there or not. So let's try to see that and what are different kind of shortcuts which are will be available in your system when you install PowerShell. Let's try to examine that as well. So when I click the start button, you see, and here, right, I am searching for PowerShell. Okay, so when I do that, if you can closely pay the attention, there are various tools are coming, right? The Windows OS telling me that I have different kind of applications which are named with PowerShell. One is this one, Windows PowerShell. This is called Windows PowerShell console, and another one is Windows PowerShell ISE. ISE means integrated scripting environment. Okay, and the same these two applications also available for you with 32-bit here. You see this x86, that means it's actually 32-bit. Okay, so generally major operating systems, generally everyone will have 64-bit. Along with the 64-bit applications, these two are 64-bit applications. Along with that, even these two 32-bit version of the consoles also will get installed in your system when you have the PowerShell. Okay, but we majorly play with this 64-bit tools. Okay, now we have to understand what is this Windows PowerShell, what is this Windows PowerShell ISE. So if you remember in our previous class, I said that PowerShell is nothing. PowerShell contains two things. One, it will contain like command line, right? And also it will contain something called scripting. Okay, that means when I say command line, you can just run some commands and execute it, as you have seen in our first class of the PowerShell as well. Scripting means not only one command, not only one line, we can continue to run our entire code, like how you write programming in C sharp, C language, Python. Same way, you can write the code in multiple lines to implement certain logic, and all the lines put together as a one file, you can execute that script. So if that kind of functionality is there, then that is called scripting. For example, in Windows OS, when you open command prompt by typing cmd in run command, so here you cannot run some scripts, right? You basically run some commands here, right? Even in the PowerShell, that is the exactly same thing we did it in our previous class, right? We are able to execute some commands. So that indirectly tells that PowerShell is a command line. But along with that, we can actually run the scripts as well using the PowerShell. That means multiple lines. Also, we can write to accomplish certain logic. In our future classes, we will try to write some scripts to automate some steps as well. But for now, have that idea. To prove that, what I am going to do, I am going to search for PowerShell once again. So let me search for PowerShell. And as I said, there are two things, right? One is this console, another one is the PowerShell ISE. Okay, so let me research. So it was not came. So let me search again. PowerShell. When I search for PowerShell, you see that now you see that we got this is a console. This is like a integrated scripting environment. So in this, if I use this application to interact with PowerShell, then I can write scripts also. But if I use this one, only commands. So in the ISC, I can execute commands as well, scripts as well. I will practically show you that. Okay. So let's open this normal Windows PowerShell first and execute one command to make a sense that it is working as a command line as well. Though we did this in our first PowerShell video, let's do it now also. That will be like a quick recap for the people. So let me open Windows PowerShell here, and when I click open, it will open. And once the PowerShell opens here, this is where I can write a command. So I will write that ps version table. If you remember, we written this command in our previous class as well. This will tell us what version of the PowerShell install in our system. So let me hit enter, and now if you can examine the results, you can clearly see that we got all this information along with the version information as well about our PowerShell, right? That means it's a command line. We are able to execute a command line. Okay. So along with this command line console, we have ISE also, integrated scripting environment, right? So let's open that. So let's search for Windows PowerShell, and let's click this ISE, and let's try to open this. This Windows PowerShell ISE is actually, it's like a development tool. Imagine that way. So in this tool, right, you can write commands as well. You can write script as well. So if you can closely pay the attention here, let me minimize this here by clicking this side icon. So I clicked this script icon here to minimize that portion. Okay. So now here, right now, whatever you are seeing, it is like a command line, like the same console what we just opened. So here also I can just write the commands like ps version table. When I hit the tab, intelligence is coming, and when I put the dot, see in the ISE, right, you will get a proper intelligence. So here I can take the ps version. This kind of proper intelligence will not come in the Windows PowerShell console. But here in the ISE, you will get the proper rich font and all the intelligence and everything will be put together for you. So when I use this and when I hit enter, you can clearly observe the results there. We are getting, so the command executed successfully, this command, and we are getting the results also correctly, right? So along with this command line, inside this ISE, you will have the scripting capability also. So to open that, we can click this script. You see that there is a script, small text there. You need to click that. When you click that, now if you see this entire white area, right, whatever you are seeing, so this is like a scripting area. Here I can write my PowerShell code in multiple lines and I can execute that as well. We will see that in our future classes, as I said, but you can write it technically. So you can write like this, the same thing, like dollar ps version table dot ps version. See, intelligence is coming, and I can continue writing my code actually here in PowerShell. Okay, so I'm not doing that, but we can write it. We will do that in our future classes. Not only that, you see the extreme left, you see one more pane. It is called commands pane. So this will simply help you to search for the available command lines in your system. If you want to search something quickly, you can search it here by entering that. Okay. And in our previous video, we discussed that, right, how to list down all the commands. Get command, we used that get command to list down all the commands, and we kind of filtered the commands as well, right, by supplying some flag values called noun and verb. If you haven't watched my first video, please consider watching it. Okay, so this is the difference between PowerShell console app and PowerShell ISE. Along with this, we can also use Visual Studio. We can also use the Visual Studio. So how we will use a not Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code, sorry. So let's open Visual Studio Code. So let me search VS Code. So if you don't have one, install Visual Studio Code. So let me click open to open the Visual Studio Code. In the Visual Studio Code also, you can get both the console experience and also the ISE experience. So to do that, right now, this is my Visual Studio Code, and let's close all these tabs here, and from here we will select the files, and or we will create a files actually. This is called explore menu, and this is called extensions menu. From here we can install any extensions for the Visual Studio Code if one need. Okay, so right now I am not installing anything. Let's go to the explore menu, and let me close everything here. Generally, from the Visual Studio Code also you will get the terminal, the same Windows PowerShell console what we got, same thing here also you will get it. So to open that, you click this and go to this terminal menu and open new terminal. When you click the open new terminal, if you can closely pay the attention, you see here we can select like in which runtime we need you want the terminal. So I want the terminal to be on a PowerShell. So you can select that from here. Let me delete one. We need only one terminal. And right now, this area, right, from here to here, whatever the area you are seeing, right, this entire area, this is where you write the commands, and that commands will execute on the PowerShell indirectly. So that's what it is. So now here I can execute the same dollar ps version table, and when I hit the enter, you can clearly observe that similar kind of error. So I executed a command I am getting the output also. And how this magic is happening? Because this terminal right now, whatever you opened, it is on the PowerShell only. That means PowerShell console is accessible in the Visual Studio Code directly if you install in your system. But I want that ISC experience. I want that script capability as well. I should be capable enough to write the PowerShell in multiple lines as well. So if you want that capabilities, then what you have to do, go to these extensions here, and here at the top, search for PowerShell extension. And when you search for the PowerShell extension, you will get so many extensions. But if you closely pay attention to this extension called PowerShell, it is from the Microsoft. So we need to install this extension. Okay, so let me click this extension now, and the moment you click the extension will open this side here. Below is the terminal what we previously opened. So let me clear this. Okay, so now here I can hit this install button to install this PowerShell extension for the Visual Studio Code. So let me hit this install button to install it. So once the installation completes, you should see uninstall button there. So let's wait for the installations to complete. And one more thing, once the installation complete, this terminal below whatever you are seeing, right? Let me show you this terminal after. Okay, let me make it little larger so that you can see. So once the installation of complete, this terminal you see here as a PowerShell, right? You will get one more option here called PowerShell extension actually. Okay. So you can see right now the installation complete. That is the reason now you are seeing the uninstall button. And not only that, now if I click this down arrow, I should see PowerShell extension. Okay, it is not coming. So let me close this, and let me go to here. This, you see this extra icon also came here, right? Let me close this extension installation page. Now when I click this, you see, if you observe, when I clicked this PowerShell icon, what we got from the extension, it opened a terminal here. You can see it opened a terminal here. Not only that, the terminal what it opened with the PowerShell extension. The moment you have the PowerShell extension, now what you can do it, you can go to the Explore, and you can try to create a PowerShell file where you can write the multiple lines, and that PowerShell file you can directly run on this extension. I will practically show you that. So now what I will be doing is I am going back to the Explore button, and here right now let's try to create a new file, new file. I am trying to create a new file. Then it is asking me, okay, you want to create a new file, that I understand, but tell me like what kind of file. So let me select the text file only. So let's select again file, new file, text file, and then it is asking me to tell me like in which language the file is going to be, like what kind of code you are going to write. So I'm going to hit this select language, and it is giving me so much of big list. Okay, so I want the file for the PowerShell. So I will search for the PowerShell and I will select it. The moment I select it, you see here it created a PowerShell file actually called untitled one. So here also I will write the same code, ps version table. Okay, dot ps version. See, we are getting the intelligence as well. And now I will try to hit the control s to save this file. The moment I hit the control s, it will ask me where you want to save. So I will name it like a, on the desktop I am saving it, I will name it like a sample.ps1. See, PowerShell files will have extension of this .ps1. Okay, so I hope you guys can able to see that, right? So I am saving it, and one, so I saved my PowerShell file onto my local. Right now it has only one line of code. I can write multiple lines as well, that I will do in our future cases. Now if I want to run this file, right, I can hit this run button, or I can hit the F5 key on my keyboard. So when I hit that, if you can clearly observe in the terminal, if you can see in the terminal, the code executed. When I say code, my PowerShell file got executed automatically in the terminal, and it is giving me the results as well. And where this terminal is running, this terminal is running in the PowerShell extension. If I try to run the terminal in the PowerShell, then it will not work, because this PowerShell, whatever you are seeing here, it is only the console where you can execute a commands. It cannot run the PowerShell script file. To run the PowerShell script file, we should have the PowerShell extension that will automatically gives you ability to create the .ps1 files and run them as well. Without PowerShell extension also, you can try to create the PowerShell files, but you cannot run it. Because why? Because you will only have the PowerShell in the terminal, you don't have the PowerShell extension, so you cannot run them. So to run them, you should have the PowerShell extension for sure. Not only that, we can debug also. If you want to debug by putting a breakpoint at the first line here, you can put it there and you can hit the run button, and automatically the execution will get stop at the first line. Right now I have only one line, we can add 10 lines as well. You see the execution started here, you can see the execution started here, right? And automatically you see that yellow line came here, because that's saying that your execution got paused here because of this breakpoint. Now you can hit the F10 to continue the execution, and the moment I click that, I should see the results also. So when I hit the F10 here, see, command executed successfully, and I am able to see the results as well, right? So basically, when you are working with PowerShell, you have three kind of different hosts that will help you to communicate with PowerShell. Windows PowerShell command console, where you can execute the commands, and then Windows PowerShell ISE, integrated scripting environment, where you can execute the commands, as well as you can write the script and execute that. Same ISE experience if you want to get it, or the console experience if you want to get it, you will also get that in the Visual Studio Code as well. To get the ISE experience, install the PowerShell extension. So these are all the key points. And one last point what I want to tell is, generally, right, uh, this PowerShell, right, in the initial days, it was only available for the Windows. Okay, it was only available for the Windows. So that is the reason PowerShell used to work only on the Windows platform. So on the Windows platform, PowerShell will be called as a Windows PowerShell. That Windows PowerShell was actually developed by .NET code. Okay, but over the time we got something called .NET Core, and this .NET Core is cross-platform. That means .NET Core can run on the Windows, Mac, and also like Linux. So in different OSs it can run. Since .NET Core can execute on different OSs, now using .NET Core people started developing the PowerShell. So now the PowerShell also became cross-platform. It can run on the Mac OS, Linux, and Windows as well. The version of the PowerShell which will execute on the Windows OS is called Windows PowerShell actually. The version of the PowerShell which can execute on the cross platforms, which can execute on Linux and Mac, is actually called as PowerShell or PowerShell Core. Okay, so previously we used to call it like a Windows PowerShell because it used to run only on the Windows, but nowadays PowerShell can execute on any different OS as well. So hence now they rebranded it or renamed it as a PowerShell or PowerShell Core. So when I say Windows PowerShell, it is something which runs on the Windows OS only. But when I say PowerShell Core or PowerShell, it is something it can run on a Windows also, Linux also, Mac OS also. Okay, so that's it in this video. I hope you guys got an idea like what is PowerShell again, and also like how to execute a commands, and what kind of applications or host we have which will help us to communicate with PowerShell. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, consider to subscribe to my channel and press the subscribe button to get the new notifications. Thank you so much.